Hi students, in this class we shall be discussing time series for CA Foundation Statistics. This is the last topic of statistics. Okay, so now, what is time series? What is time series? It is arrangement of certain variables or values according to time. Okay, a sequence of values of some variables according to the successive points in time. Okay, corresponding to successive points in time means when we consider certain values, say for example this is year 2011, 2012, 13, 14 and 15, 5 years data is given about the prices of a particular commodity. Okay, suppose we are talking about a particular commodity and the prices of that commodity are listed like this, then this data is called time series. We can plot it on the graph also. Say for example this on x-axis we shall take time on the x-axis and the variable or the prices on the y-axis. So we can have, say this is say 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015 and so on. We can take the time like this and say for example this is 10, this is 15. Okay, I can have a break here, then we have 20, 25, 30 like that. So then what happens is we can plot the points corresponding to the time. Okay, say 10 can be here. See, after that 2012 is 12, so it will be somewhat above that. And then we have 30, in 13 we have 18, so it is somewhere here. And then 14 we have 25, so it is here. And then we have 28 again here. Okay, so the graph can be plotted like this. The graph can be plotted like this. Okay, this is the time series data. Or we can have a line graph also. We can draw straight lines to get a line graph connecting these points. Okay, now let us discuss the uses. So it helps us in understanding past behavior. See, we can, from this data we can understand how the prices behaved in the past. Okay, how it is going to behave in future can be predicted with the help of the previous data. Okay, so therefore time series data will help us understanding the past behavior. It helps us understanding the past behavior. It facilitates for forecasting and planning. It helps us in predicting the future outcomes. Okay, so that is these are the two uses for time series, basic uses. Then the time series establishes a relationship between two variables. One, the independent one is known as the time variable and the other one is the variable which is dependent on time. Okay, now we shall discuss something about the four components of time series. Which are the four components of time series? So the first one is called the long-term movement, or we call it the secular trend. We call it the secular trend, which is the long-term movement of a particular variable. We are going to study the long-term movement, how it is behaving, whether there is a large change or whether there is a small change or whether there is an increase or whether there is a decrease in the variable in a long term. Okay, large amount of time. Okay, second one is seasonal variations. What happens every year? Okay, in the first season what happens, in the second season what happens, in the third season, in the fourth season, like that. Say for example quarters. Okay, in a year we have 4 quarters, right? So every quarter the output may not be the same. For a company the sales may not be the same in each quarter. So there may be some quarters which are favorable and there may be some quarters which are unfavorable. Okay, so that is where the business is dull and where the business is high. Okay, so this will be discussed in seasonal variations. Then we have cyclical variations, where it repeats. Okay, the cycle will repeat its procedure, but it is not dependent on it is not, means we cannot fix a particular duration after which the cycle will start repeating. Okay, but we can definitely say that this is the process, or these are the steps how it will go. Okay, then we have random or irregular variations, and it may be due to some undesirable or unpredictable situations, or maybe seasons, maybe any kind of uncertain events can lead to variations in the, say, for example, price of a commodity because of some particular situation. Okay, let us discuss each one of them in detail. The first one is called the secular trend, simple trend or long-term movement. Okay, so what is it? It is the long-term tendency of the time series to move in upward or downward direction. In the long run, when large time interval is taken, and in that large time, what change has occurred in the long run? Say in January, what is the situation, and then finally in December of the same year, what is the situation? Okay, so in 1 year time, or maybe after 5 years, what happens, what kind of development has happened, will be studied in secular trend. Okay, so secular trend is the long term tendency of the time series to move in upward or downward direction. Okay, it indicates on the whole how the variable behaved on the entire period. Okay, during the entire period, how a variable behaved, whether it was showing a general increase or whether it was showing a decrease, that can be predicted. Say here the population of a country has increased, shows an increasing trend over a period of years, over a large number of years, say for example 5 years or 10 years. What is the difference? Say, okay, in 2000, say initially, say 2000, the population was, say, this much. Okay, then in 2001 the population was this much, then in 2002 the population has decreased and came to this point, maybe possibly due to some situations. Then in 2003, what happens? Again the population increases. Then in 2004, again the population increases. Okay, then in 2005, again the population increases. Finally, when we try to draw a line, we can see that there is a general increase. See this point and this point, what is there? There is an increase. It shows an increase. Okay, we can draw trend lines in different ways, but this generally shows an increase. Okay, same way there we can have a situation where it is decreasing. Okay, in the long run. The use of typewriters, initially it was very large, then it started decreasing. Now nobody uses except in quotes, right? That is the situation. Now everybody uses a mobile phone or a computer. Okay, so now these are the examples. Population of a country has increased over large number of years. Okay, it shows an increasing trend generally. Now due to modern technology, the agricultural and industrial production is also showing some kind of increasing trend. Okay, and due to modern technology, the health facilities and death rate is also decreasing and the life expectancy is increasing. Okay, so that is what we are showing. Okay, so how to measure this kind of secular trend? Okay, in this from this chapter we are not going to get any subjective question except some small theoretical question, directly theoretical question, which we are going to discuss in this lecture. Okay, in this class whatever we are discussing, mostly we expect 3 questions from this chapter, directly text based questions. No problem based questions can be asked because they are lengthy in nature and they do not show any probability to come in the examination. Okay, now we shall discuss how to measure secular trend. There are 4 methods of measuring secular trend. See, with how many measures are there? How many methods are there to measure secular trend? There are 4 measures of measuring secular trend. First one is called the graphical method, or we call it the freehand curve method. Okay, what we did right now. Then the second one is the method of semi-averages. Second one is called the method of semi-averages. Then we have the method of moving averages, and finally the method of least squares. Okay, which are the methods? Graphical method or freehand curve method. Second method is the method of semi-averages. Then we have the method of moving averages. Finally, method of least squares. This is very important. Okay, that's it. Then we are going to discuss about seasonal variations. Seasonal variations. In seasonal variations, what is the definition? Over a span of 1 year, seasonal variation takes place due to rhythmic forces which operate in regular and periodic manner. What happens over a period of 1 year? Over a period, over a span of 1 year, what happens? The changes occur in a regular and periodic manner. The changes occur in a regular and periodic manner. So such variations are known as seasonal variations. Okay, such changes are known as seasonal variations. So these forces have the same and almost a similar pattern every year, year after year. So what happens in January, say for example, during December, the demand for cars will decrease. Why? Because the next year the model number will change, the model will change, right? We will have a new model in the next year. So therefore in November and December, the demand for cars will generally show a lower or decreasing trend. Same way, the sale of cars will increase from January, or say somewhere to March. January to March, we can see that the cars will show a rise in sales. Same way, after that it shows a decline. Okay, so that is what generally happens, and that may be the reasons may be because of varying seasons. Say there is another example, that during winter season what happens? The sales of the woolen clothes will increase, like sweaters, mufflers and everything will increase. Same way, during the summers it will decrease. Okay, during winters the sale of woolen clothes will increase, and during summers it will decrease. Okay, so that such kind of seasonal variation will happen due to certain seasons, the change of seasons, or it may happen due to customs, social customs. Say for example, during festivals, the sale of clothes will increase, the fabrics will increase, then decoration items will also increase, and sometimes the sale of, say during the fasting season, what happens? During the fasting season, the business of restaurants will decrease. Okay, so that is due to social customs. So the examples are like this. In winters and summers, what happens to the sale of cold drink? The sale of cold drink will go up in summers and it will go down in winters. Okay, the sales might go up in Diwali or Onam in India, and it will again go up during Christmas in the Western world. Okay, so same way, sales of restaurants and eateries might go down during the fasting season or some festival seasons. Okay, now which are the methods of measuring seasonal variations? First one is simple average method. Then we have the ratio to trend method. Third one is ratio to moving average method, and then finally the link relatives method. We are not studying how to calculate or how to use these methods, but these are the methods. This is what we need to know. We just need to know which are the method. How many methods are there? There are 4 methods for seasonal variations. First one, simple average method. Second one, ratio to trend method. Ratio to moving average method. Link relatives method. Okay, there are 4 methods. So that is what we have about for seasonal variations. Then we have to discuss about cyclical variations. What are cyclical variations? So these are also termed as, say, business cycles. So this cycle will always happen. Generally happen. Uncertain situations are always there, but generally this is expected. Say for example, these variations are happening, like say for example, initially we will have a prosperity, second we will have a recession, say the performance may go down, and then means show a decreasing trend, and then finally it will go very deep down, and then if the company is good enough, the employees are good enough, or the management is good, then what happens? It will make a recovery and then again prosper. Then after some time it will have a recession, then again depression, then recovery, and then prosperity, and the cycle will continue to happen. Okay, this may happen in a year, it may happen after 5 years, it may happen anytime. Okay, these processes, say for example, Reliance Industries. Reliance Industries have never shown a downward trend. It has never shown, say, recession or depression. It is still in the prosperity and development phase. Okay, but there are many other businesses which have come down and they are going up also. Okay, so this kind of processes happen. Now finally we are discussing about random or irregular variations. So this happens due to some unpredictable situations, totally unpredictable situations. Say for example, coronavirus outbreak is one of the best examples. Many businesses, many establishments have had to face the situation. Okay, they have faced this situation and they have shown a very deep downward trend of development. But say for example, the demand for internet has gone up, the demand for sanitizers have gone up, the demand for masks have gone up. So personal hygiene items have are showing higher trend, but many other things are showing a down, many other businesses are showing a downward peak. Okay, so many other institutions have even closed. Okay, so these fluctuations are seen because of unforeseen or unpredictable forces. Okay, these fluctuations are a result of unforeseen or unpredictable forces which operate in a random, means absolutely random and erratic manner. They do not have any pattern, definite pattern. See, this year it has happened. It is not necessary that it will happen every year, right? Say it may happen after 10 years or maybe after 5 years, like that. Earthquakes do not happen every year. It may happen in once, then maybe again after 5 years or 10 years, or may not happen again at all. Okay, so this is called random or irregular variations. Now, which are the models of time series? We discussed components of time series, 4 components. These were the 4 components. Now we are going to discuss how to means which are the models of time series. So there are 2 models. First one is called the additive model and second one is called the multiplicative model. Okay, first model is called the additive model, second one is called the multiplicative model. So the 4 components are, the 4 components as we discussed, the secular trend, it is denoted by T. Okay, then seasonal variations is denoted by S. Then we have the cyclical variations, and then finally random or irregular variations called I or R. Okay, so in additive model, what we do is that this model assumes that all the 4 components T, S, C and I are independent of one another. That is, if the long term and the seasons, they are not dependent on each other. Long term trend and seasonal trend, some variations due to the long term effects are not connected to seasonal effects. Okay, and same way these 4 are not dependent on each other, that is, they are independent of each other. So it is, in additive model, it is assumed that the final outcome is independent of these 4 components of time series. Okay, so therefore we say that it is called an additive model. So they are added. Okay, then in multiplicative model, what happens is that it assumes that the forces give rise to 4 types of variations and they are independent to each other. Okay, so what happens is, due to the combined effort or combined effect, what happens is the combined effect of all the 4 variables. So therefore this is called a multiplicative model. Okay, here generally multiplicative model is more chosen because more appropriate everywhere, because one change may have occurred due to one or more than one factor. Okay, one or more than one component. It may be the result of one or more than one component. So that's all what we have for time series, and we are not interested in how to solve the problems, and this is your topic. So here we complete our chapter time series. Okay, so you are supposed to prepare the MCQs whatever as it is given from the material, ICAI material. Okay, the textbooks which have been provided to you. So the same questions, same thing as direct textual questions, nothing else. Okay, thank you.